Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. It's Teresa here with a brand new Moonlit Creative Team YouTube Hop for Traci Reed Designs. I'm going to be sharing a layout from my 2021 October Daily album with you. I will have links down below for the creative team members who are participating in the hop. And of course, we're using the Moonlit Digital Collection by Traci Reed, and these are the pattern papers I have printed out for a 6x8 layout. And let me share with you first how I created this silhouette cut file using one of the stickers in the collection. And so when you pull in a sticker into the silhouette design software, you usually will notice that it's a little bit larger than what it's intended to print. And so I sort of sized it down just a little bit to about the size of the 6x8 background paper and made it just a little bit smaller. You will get a low resolution notice. If you were to try to print this, it would come out a bit grainy. But we're just going to use the embellishment for the cut file itself. We're not going to print this version of it. And so first what I'm going to do is trace really loosely, freehand draw these shapes that I want to cut out from the photo and from the pattern papers. And so using the freehand drawing tool, I'm just loosely going around and drawing that yellow flame. And it doesn't matter like whether it's exact or not. Mine isn't exact. It's really loose. I did it just with the mouse on the mouse pad. And then once you get it roughly drawn in, you can go into the point editing tool and first simplify that red line that you just created, and then position those points where you need them. You can edit them as you need to, and this is what that looks like for the yellow flame. That's where I'm going to cut my photo, so that's the shape I'm going to use to cut out my photo. And then I also did that for the red flame, and I used one of the Traveler's Notebook signatures to back that part with. And then here I'm going to create the actual cut file, the white border around the sticker becomes the actual, like what we call the silhouette cut file. And so first I traced that shape. It has a trace already if you were to print and cut it, but I wanted its own shape here, and then go into the offset tool and do an internal offset and adjust the arrow up to get the depth that you want. I recommend overlapping the orange part just a little bit, so that you can cover your cut once you cut out that shape for the orange flame. And then the logs I didn't really worry about at this point. I'm going to use a wood grained specialty paper to back that. And so those three parts are all that this shape needs. And one thing I will say, if you're going to do that, select very carefully simple shapes, not very detailed or not very layered. You could get really detailed with a cool sticker, but it does take a little bit of time to do all the point editing, but it is worth it. And so here's the flame cut file all cut out. The orange flame is cut out, and you can see the photo as well at the bottom of the screen there. And this is the wood grain pattern paper. This I I got that at Hobby Lobby like years ago, and I never really had a use for it, but I thought it would be a fun little way to get a different kind of texture there. This particular one is like a cherry wood grain, and it's actually a very thin veneer. So here we go. We're burning cherry wood today. And then I just adhered that directly onto a little square of the wood grain and cut it out by hand. And then I'm going to take my little X-Acto knife here and get the little detail parts and just trim that out a little bit better. Again, if you're going to do this, keep the shapes really simple. It doesn't have to be complex. And it does, take a little time, but to me, that's part of the process, and I enjoy that, and I think it's definitely worth the time and the effort. This layout turned out really cute and fits in really well with these October Daily albums. This has been a long ongoing project, this October Daily. I've worked on 2021 and 2022 both. They're still works in progress, and I'll have this album, the playlist of process videos, I'll have that linked for you at the end of the video, and also down below, so you can see the rest of this album of what's done. I'm currently up to day 19, and then I chose to use this story for day 30. I think the last 11 days or so of this album, I'm just going to use the different stories from Halloween Day itself, and just use that as the daily album at this point, and that's fine. However you do it, I know it seems weird to work on October Daily right now in July, but I thought that the reason I chose this is because, one, I wanted to show how versatile the Moonlit collection is, and when Traci released the Moonlit collection to the creative team, I went through and just looked for any photos that I had that were night themed or taken at night or featured lights, and this was a great opportunity to showcase the s'mores embellishments, and this collection was definitely created, and that's one of the reasons it was created, to tell s'mores stories like this. And so I think it's awesome. I love showcasing how versatile these collections can be and how many different types of layouts you can create with just one collection. So the cut file itself is now adhered to the background paper. I love how it looks like they're just floating off into the moonlight in that flame. And then a couple of last things I'm going to do. I created 2 embellishment clusters, one layered on top of the flame, the campfire, and then the other here by my journaling. I did use the alphabets in the Moonlit collection as the cutting file for the number 30, and I cut it from a vellum I had in my stash. And then I'm also stamping just a few little bats. This is an older Cocoa Daisy stamp set that I had. Look at that. That bat flying off into the moon just tickled me. I love it so much. I used that Traveler's Notebook signature on the left. That was a great place to house my journaling and to write about some of our kids' friends that came over to roast s'mores. at Halloween that year. Here is the album. You may remember it, and where I was at last. So thank you so much today for joining us on the hop. Make sure you check out everyone's videos. They'll be linked down below. And I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.